here is the longest conversation ever recorded with Jesus, with anybody. And he happens to talk to a woman, not only a woman, but a Samaritan woman, not only a woman who is Samaritan, but a woman who is actually a sinful woman. And this is how I kind of imagine her, a little bit feisty. She engages in a conversation. She's not shy. This is one of the deepest theological conversations that Jesus has with anybody. And there are lots of similarities and some differences between the two stories, and that's why they should be studied together. And I will kind of take you very quickly through them. Well, obviously, the biggest difference is that Nicodemus comes at night, and she comes in the middle of a day. She comes when the light is as light as possible. And this should kind of interest us. It's an important information that John gives us. Nicodemus comes and he asks the question, but then throughout the story, he kind of fades away from the background. Have you noticed it? I have a red letter Bible, so Jesus' words are in red, and you can see that gradually Nicodemus is just like fading away from the scene. As he came, he asked the question, and then just Jesus answers and actually calls out, to him, saying that he doesn't believe. But the woman becomes more and more prominent as the story continues. She doesn't fade away into the background. She is here becoming the main hero of the story. She goes and she tells immediately. But there are similarities where they both begin by misunderstanding what Jesus is saying. They both begin in that place of misunderstanding, taking something too literary. So Jesus is talking about being born again, and Nicodemus is not getting it because he's thinking, well, what does it mean being born again? They think it's too literal, they're taking it too literary. But the woman as well, when Jesus talks about the water, she doesn't get it straight away, but then she does. And I think it's just such an amazing story where Nicodemus points a finger saying, we think, we know, while the woman says, I know something. I know that the Messiah will come. And again, this is such a huge thing because not only she's a woman, so technically uneducated, probably illiterate, she's a Samaritan woman and a sinner. And I think sometimes we have given the Samaritan woman a bit of a bad name, I think, personally, because the Bible is silent about why she had 5 husbands. I think it is unlikely, very unlikely, if not impossible, that she's the one that has divorced them. And yet we hold her in judgment because she had 5 husbands. What if her husbands have died? What if her husbands were unfaithful to her? If she was unfaithful to a husband, she would probably be stoned to death. And yet we hold her as a sinner, even in our eyes. Now, the Bible, the Samaritans, in the view of the Jews, were sinners, but I have a lot of compassion for the Samaritan woman, and I think that we have been judging her too harshly for having 5 husbands because we don't know what actually happened.